Here's a dramatic, emotional story, inspired by the title you sent. It begins with a strong hook, develops through conflict, heartbreak and redemption, and ends with a message of hope and dignity. He walked into the restaurant thinking it was a joke. Right from the moment the heavy doors swung open, the chandeliers glinted mockingly down at him, and he felt every eye flicker and linger. He could almost hear the whisper behind the polished walls, "Poor mechanic. Rich daughter. Let's see how this plays out." He was Rayan, 28 years old, rough hands from years of repairing engines, clothes still faintly smelling of oil, shoulders slightly stooped from exhaustion. He'd accepted the blind date as a favor to a coworker who insisted, "Just go. Be polite, you'll be fine." He didn't know it had been pitched as a prank. On the other side of the table sat Ayla, 26, daughter of a powerful CEO, her hair perfectly styled, her dress elegant. Her eyes held a calm curiosity. Not amusement, not disdain, just calm. When Ayla saw him, Rayan felt the world tilt. At first, barbs came, subtle glances, soft laughs, the kind meant to sting without making a sound. Rayan's heart pounded. He fumbled with the menu. He felt small, worthless. Ayla noticed. Early in the meal, she asked, "Did you expect something different tonight?" Her tone wasn't cruel, it was calm, concerned. Rayan hesitated. Then he said silently, more to himself than to her, "Maybe I don't belong in a place like this." Ayla's eyes softened. "That's where you're wrong." As candles glowed on the table, what began as mockery shifted. Their conversation, first polite, then honest, turned into something real. They spoke of childhood dreams, Rayan's longing to build a modest workshop of his own someday, Ayla's desire to escape the suffocating expectations of wealth and position. They laughed softly, shared quiet moments, vulnerability bloomed between them, but reality crashed in hard. When Ayla's friends discovered who she was with, the whispers began again. "What is she doing with a mechanic? Is she serious?" Their words dripped with judgment. Ayla's father, the CEO, heard about the evening. He confronted Ayla. "You can't associate with someone so beneath our world." He dismissed Rayan before he could even speak. Rayan left, heart aching, but dignity intact. He didn't beg, he didn't demand, he simply walked away, but the echo of that night stayed with him. Days passed. Ayla couldn't forget his kindness, his gentle patience, the way he treated her as a human, not an heir. She visited him one afternoon at the small repair shop where he worked. The place smelled of oil and metal, but to her it smelled of honesty. She stood a little outside at first, watching him fix an engine with careful hands. Rayan noticed, paused, wiped his hands, turned. Surprise, then recognition, then something like hope flickering. They talked under the dim fluorescent garage lights. Ayla didn't offer glamour. She offered a promise, acceptance, respect, the possibility that background, wealth or poverty, didn't define worth. But the challenges mounted. Rayan's insecurities whispered every night, "You don't belong. She can do better." Ayla's friends mocked her. Her father threatened to disinherit her if she pursued this nonsense. Yet Ayla stood firm. One evening, Ayla invited Rayan to a modest gathering, just close friends. She introduced him without shame. "This is Rayan," she said simply. "He's a good man." Some faces turned away, some whispered, but a few, quiet, thoughtful, offered polite smiles. And for the first time, Rayan felt seen. Then came the turning point. One late night, while leaving the garage, Rayan noticed a small child trembling under a streetlight, frightened. Lost. Without hesitation, he crouched beside her, offered water, calmed her fear until her older sister arrived. The sister tearfully thanked him. Unknown to Rayan, the little girl was the daughter of one of Ayla's father's most influential friends. That friend never forgot the kindness. When the story reached Ayla's father, not from her, but from gratitude and respect, something in him shifted. He saw, wealth didn't guarantee compassion. Status didn't promise humanity. And that evening, over coffee, he asked Rayan quietly, "Why did you help her?" Rayan looked at him not with anger, but with calm seriousness. "Because being poor doesn't mean being heartless," he said. "Because some things, kindness, honor, integrity, you can't buy." Silence. Then a slow nod. From that moment on, things changed. Ayla's father no longer scoffed, but observed. Her friends no longer mocked, but whispered with regret. And Rayan, still in dusty overalls, was invited to dinner, included in conversations, seen as a person, not a joke. Their love didn't become a fairy tale. It became something stronger. A bond built on respect, honesty, and quiet courage. In the end, Rayan and Ayla didn't need grand declarations or dramatic gestures. Their love was subtle, like the hum of an engine finally running smoothly, like the soft glow of a candle that refuses to falter. And the message lingered. Real worth, of a person, a relationship, a human, isn't decided by wealth, background, or expectations. It's defined by character, kindness, and the courage to stand by someone when the world laughs. Because sometimes the richest hearts come in the humblest packages, and sometimes, love isn't about being equal in status, but equal in humanity.